Hey guys, welcome to Becoming Soulful. We are discussing with a lot of leaders, coaches, and some of my friends are sharing their best practices as to how to lead a very purposeful life, doing what you like in your life. Today, I have a very interesting person, John Pradeep, with me, who uses theater for coaching kids on life skills. And he started using theater to coach adults as well in the recent past. One of the most interesting person I have met. And today he is going to share a lot of best practices with you. And let's invite John Pradeep on the screen. Hi, John. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, Vimala. Thank you so much for inviting. I'm glad to be here. I
Hi,
think you
John.
started with saying how exactly you find your life purpose and follow your passion. I think that's the most exciting topic that I would love to talk on always.
Yeah, that is what
Thanks.
attracted me towards you because very few people work for their passion. Most of them chase survival. And let's not waste time. And please start introducing yourself, John. You have a lot to share.
Okay. A quick introduction would be I'm India's first theater-based life coach that works with children. If you have been seeing a lot of these little children coming on newspapers and TVs doing a lot of amazing stuff out there, I might be behind them. So that's one easier way of telling what exactly I do. But otherwise, I work with children. I created a lot of authors, bloggers, world record holders, TED speakers, and all of these kinds. And so that's what I do with children. And this is not like saying, hey, all the children should be forced to do all what they have, like all of these things. No, it's not like that. I help children identify what exactly their interest at that particular time is. That might not be their passion, but that particular time, what their interest is, I tap into that and get them to do something great. And so that's the Young Achievers program that I do.
Wow, very interesting. And what is the age group you deal with?
So this is mostly 8+ children. Sometimes we have younger children also when parents are very convinced saying my child will be able to do all of these things. So sometimes we have, I've had as small as 6-year-old, but they are very, very small, minimum like some 4 or 5 children below 8 years old, but mostly it is 8+ year.
So how did this started, John? It's very, very strange thing, no? Working with kids.
Yeah. Correct. So now let me start from where exactly this started. This basically, I was doing one-on-one coachings here and there based on theater long ago. And there is this girl called Advita Lalita. She was in 8th standard then, and I was coaching her for doing plays, acting, and all that. And she wanted to pursue theater very, very intensely. Now we search for international A+ universities where she can go and join and do theater. We find saying we like looking at the things that they're asking for. They ask, where did you intern? Like, have you interned anywhere? Who are your mentors? Have you done any performances before? Do you have any media presence? All of those questions, like why should we give you the seat? And all of these questions were very new to us. Luckily for her, since she was in the field of theater as its performance, she already had, like, I trained her to go for a national level competition. She got the Bal Shri Award, which is like the highest form of art award for the juniors. And and she had all of these credibilities. She's spoken on TED and all of those credibilities she had. And so she got the admission. She's studying in London right now. Now when I looked at that, I thought, oh my god, like all of these universities are asking all of these things. Now how about the other children and parents who do not know any of these things? Now this goes back to my school days, where my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and I studied really well. Like I was actually getting around 95%, but I had to get like more, no, like that's not enough for a medicine seat. So they put me in the hostel. Like 5 days before the exams, I fall ill and I could not write the exam so well, and I get around 88%. Now After that, it was just like roller coaster for me, because after that I did physiotherapy, discontinued, film technology, discontinued, I did biotechnology, completed it but did not do anything with biotechnology, worked in a call center, then I did MBA, discontinued, again did one more MBA, discontinued, and then I worked in a school, I worked in a training center, and all of these things. Like, you see, like, and after doing all of these things, when I really find that I'm going to work with children surely, and I'm going to use theater to work with children, I was 27 years old. Now, hey, did I not know that I'm good with children and theater before? I completely knew. My first play was when I was 3 years old. Like 3 years old, I did my first play, and I had a lot of stories from college and schools to say. Like, there was one moment where I was wounded really badly. I stepped on a glass piece, wounded really badly, like 5 minutes before the play. And I was very young back then. And they said, cancel the play, because John can't go on stage. I said, no, we are going on stage, whatever happens. And I like there is no medicine and all that. I wind one cloth over it and wear a socks over it, and then I go on stage. And Dr. scolds us for coming so late, because we had to put 3 stitches on that. So now, like, would I have done this for other things like sports and studies and all of those things? I wouldn't have. But I did that only for theater. So that means, like, that bell was ringing then, but nobody told me. And that same bell is ringing for a lot of children and parents right now, and nobody notices that. Or they tell, saying, we will get you to study to medicine or law or engineering or whatever. After that, you figure out your life. And that is one reason why you see all of these 21 to 30-year-olds roaming around, not knowing what to do with life. You see? So now what I thought was, what if I took all of these experiences and put it while they are in the school? Now they can finish and tell, saying, hey, I've done all of these things. I'm not interested in any of these. I think I'll go with the regular curriculum. Or I could, like, they can pursue and find out and say, hey, I love doing this. I will maybe pursue this as my career. So that's what I do.
So what is theater, John?
Theater is, yeah. So when I ask this question anywhere, what theater is, and everybody refers to the movie theater where you go watch movies. But this is the other theater where you actually do performances, live performance. Any live performance is theater. So now, how is live performance getting you to get coached on live? Is where I, like, you see, if, for example, if you're going and doing a performance, you get together as a team, you prepare yourself, you mentally prepare, you do a lot of little projects, rehearsals, reading, and a lot of small teams working together. And all of these things happen, right? Now, what if I use those techniques and methods to prep you to get ready for life? Now, I do puppetry, shadow theater, and all of these things, street play, mime. I'm also a clown. So what if I use these art forms to make sure that children are easy, like it gets into the heads of their children very easily, is the thought behind the theater-based life coaching.
Okay, so I'm so curious now. So if you have to consider me as an 8-year-old kid, can you do something for a minute that I'm going to respond as an 8-year-old kid? Just to understand what is theater with a kid.
Okay, I will. Yeah, okay. Then I have to think, because okay, so because you see this being with adults, it's very, very difficult for me.
No, I want all the parents. No, I want all the parents to understand the importance of this and not waste children's time in exploring something or which is chasing only MBA, doctor, engineer. I want parents to stop wasting children's time. Children are very clear. Parents are not clear.
Yes. Awesome. So now I think I know what exactly I'm going to do. So are you ready? Okay. So now, Vimala, I want you to introduce yourselves to me. Okay. So when you introduce yourself, I want you to think of one adjective that you want to add to your name. Okay, this adjective is something, because like I don't know you much. I want to know, saying, hey, Vimala, is she sweet? Is she honest? Is she happy? Is she fun? Is she, like, I don't know. No. So you can add one adjective to your name and tell me. Okay, but don't tell me now. Just think of it in your head. Have you thought about it?
I thought about it.
Awesome. Nice. So now you're going to tell this to me, but I don't want you to just tell it like that. I want you to think of a character that will exhibit this.
Okay.
Yeah. So now
Okay.
Now you are going to do that character and shout out the adjective and the name. Okay, now what do I mean by doing the character? I would say maybe you can shout, like tell one dialogue or make a sound and do the action of it.
It should be
Okay,
a character or it can be an object also.
It can be an object also, yeah. But it has to make sound. Okay, like some kind of a sound, yeah,
Yeah,
because like I'll give you an example. Okay, now I think of myself as an energetic John. Okay, now what can I think of when I think of energy? I can think of a monkey. So I will go and say, hoo, hee, energetic John. Got the idea? So now you can think of any character and you can do that. Shall we do that? I will say ready, steady, go, and then you will do it. Yeah. Ready, steady, go.
Yeah. Cling, 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 cling. Vimala.
Hey, nice. What was the adjective that you thought of?
You should find out. It's just behind you. It's just behind you.
Is that the balanced women? Behind? Oh, yeah. I know it's like cycle, but adjective is what? The balanced Vimala?
When I think of cycle, it is always fun for me. Fun and freedom.
Fun, Vimala. Oh, that's what you thought of. Nice. Freedom, now,
fun and freedom. It doesn't come by driving a car, but when you ride a cycle, you get a lot of nice feeling, no? That's
nice. Okay. See, now why did you think about fun, Vimala?
Because I'm a fun-loving person. 90% of me is fun-loving.
Nice. Did you notice, Vimala, I did not give you so much time to think about all of these things. I didn't even give you prep time. I said, come on, tell. Of all the things that you could have thought of, you thought of fun and you thought of cycle and all of these things, right? Now you see, maybe of all the adjectives that are there out there, if you thought this one word, maybe I think you are really a fun person.
Yeah, I am.
Cut. Yeah, so this is where the conversation starts about how you coach.
And the children are able to relate and say quickly.
Oh my God, it's easy with children than the adults. Yeah, so I'll ask, like this goes on to, I'll ask them what is it, like, can you tell me one incident where you really exhibited fun? Now, what do you think? So then do you think those are your real values? Like, really? Like, have people told you that you're so fun? Yes. Look, so it goes deeper. And then, yeah, so that's how we use theater.
Okay, now how parents are able to buy in these programs? Why will they buy in these programs? Children, okay, fine. But why will they? Because it's a decision of parents, not the children, right? Though your target audience are children, but parents should understand the importance of this. Why will they send their children to you?
So that's a very interesting, important question that anybody who works with children needs to ask for. You see, initially when I started, I was super enthused. I called all the parents and said, parents, come on, we're going to make the next generation the best generation. Come on, let's put in. And I trained all the parents. And some parents were like, sir, too much work to put in, sir, and they went off. But some parents were like, come on, I'm going to do this. And they go and try it on their children. And children are like, what? Why are you acting so differently today? What happened? Now I said, okay, so maybe parents is not working. Let me invite children. And I went to children and then I did like all of these things. And children are like so excited. They go to the parents and say, Mom, Dad, I want to become an author. And they'll be like, I know how long you'll be excited about this. You were the same excitement some 3 months back about tennis and cricket and all of those things. Now are just like, you see, now you have to excite both of them. You're not just excite both of them. Both of them should be knowing what exactly they're going through. So what I do is I do a preview kind of a workshop where they get to, like, both of them be part of us, 75% children and a little bit of 20 to 25% of parents being involved in this. So that way both of them know what exactly we are going through. And then they decide saying, I love what we are doing. Let's jump in. Because this has to have the buy-in of both the people. Otherwise, parents will get enthusiastic and put their children, and children will not do anything about it. Or children will get so enthusiastic and get parents to sign up, and parents will be like, what are they doing? Why am I even getting them to do this? So that way, yeah, so like what I do is I do a glimpse, like a 5-day program or something. But very recently I've stopped doing that. Now I have like an interview where both the parent and the child are there, and I get to know what the child is capable of, and I also tell them what exactly this is, and the parent is also there, and then both of them decide saying they will be part of this.
Okay, very interesting, John. One more question is, you have produced a lot of results with children, right? Share some
Yeah.
of the popular names.
Yeah. Okay. So now, if you go and Google for Ahana Birkin, okay, so this one was the youngest in my program for a long time. So what exactly? She was below 8. And her mom was very enthusiastic because this girl is really talented. She is good with art, and she basically, you give her anything, she will make some art out of it. Okay, now how and that's all she knows. She doesn't understand how exactly you become a young achiever with that and all that. So we were thinking, what should we do, what should we do? And one fine day we decided, saying we will organize one event, not even a big event. So she went to a mall nearby in Chennai. It's the Marina Mall, and we went there, and she created an installation. This installation was about how all the plastics and pollutions that we make are destroying the honeybees out there in the world. And because that logic where if honeybees are lost from the world, then all the whole world will crumple down. So she created an awareness about that. And that one single day she got featured on some 6 to 8 newspapers and YouTube channels and all of that. And from then on, she's being invited to speak at various places. Okay, she's spoken with parent circle, little kids, many other places where she's going as a speaker. She also spoke on my TED, and all of those things happen. Okay, so now, like today also, one of the stories that she wrote came in a newspaper. Actually, 3 of my students' stories came in the newspaper. The New Indian Express newspaper, on the front page, 3 of my students, their stories came out. So now this is one story where you can say, hey, like one fine day, plan something and go out and do something, and that will set up the rest of the things for you. Now her art pieces are there in a lot of places and all that. Now there was this another boy. He was a rebel. Okay, like he was around 11, 12, becoming a teenager, not listening to what the parents are saying. And I have a one-on-one with him, and he's saying, sir, I'm really angry with my parents because I love dogs and pets, and my parents do not allow me to have a dog or a pet at home. Now I'm asking why, and the mom is saying, sir, that's because I'm allergic to pets. Now we talk back and forth, and I asked them, saying, hey, is it okay if Lavhit, his name is Lavhit, if Lavhit goes out and like mingles with the dogs outside? They said yes. Then what we decided was, during the lockdown, he started feeding the dogs outside in his area. Now he started with 3 or 4 dogs, and now he's feeding around 36 dogs every single day. Okay,
Street dogs,
now
all street dogs.
Street dogs. Not just that, then like as he started doing that, he said, sir, I want to start blogging about dogs, because you see there are a lot of people who are not aware about what these dogs are, their breeds are and all that. So he started blogging about them. Now he got connected to a mentor called Ashwath here, who is also a dog rescuer. And now this boy is part of that community, and if anything that's happening in that place, he does not go because he's too small to go and rescue dogs and all that, but he helps in finding the right people, connecting them to go and rescue these dogs. Now this happened like this he started this one, and in a week's time, his mom enters the room, and she sees that this boy is sitting in front of the computer and doing all of this work. Okay, now his mom is the first time she's seeing him do sincere work after a long time. Now she's like, she cries from there, and she sends me a voice note. I still have it saved with me, because you see, now like that was that one change that happened in a week's time. Now where did this change come from? Because he's doing something worthy out there, and he knows that he's not like the other children that are out there. Now I'm special, so I have to make my life better. Now, very recently, he got a chance to speak on Josh Talks. His video is yet to come, but it got recorded last week.
And these guys are in LinkedIn.
They're on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we think LinkedIn is only meant for adult professionals. And if you go and see, I have connected with one of the girl whom you have already mentioned, and says, hi, Vimala, thanks for connecting. And I invited her for an interview. She said, okay, let's talk when we can do it. Like, I feel so privileged talking to an 8-year-old girl. And I know, my God, LinkedIn is not meant for adults. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're much sharper and on time than us. Like they say, like
sure.
immediate response and what we
Yeah.
ask them to do, everything they do. So
Yeah.
there are many other children like this. One more I want to share about. These are twins, 14-year-old twins, two sisters, Anvi and Anya. They were doing tie and dye t-shirts. Okay. Now they said, sir, we want to pay school fees for some 4 or 5 girls by selling these t-shirts. I
How
said,
old
yeah,
are
okay.
they? How old are they?
14-year-olds.
Okay.
Okay, both of them have written books also, like they're authors also, and they have done this. Now they said, we want to pay school fees. We don't know how much, but we want to pay for at least 3 or 4 people. I said, yeah, aim at least one. We'll see how exactly this goes. This started in March. Okay, and June month, I knew they came on some 2-3 newspapers, and I got invited to speak at a school business school, and I said, hey, it'll be nice to share their story, and I invited them over. And there, in front of everybody, in all the MBAs, I'm asking them, what have you done till now? And these girls are saying, we paid fees for 20 girls, and we have some extra money that we want to give for Chief Minister's COVID relief fund. I was like, what? Really? I didn't know. Like they did it all by themselves.
You have to
And
say,
they took it.
shame on you, shame on you. What are you doing with your life?
Correct. So now
Yeah.
the thought is very simple. It's not about we telling them, come on, do this, come on, do this. It's about them being like kindled from inside with what their interest is. Who would have thought tie and dye school t-shirts will pay fees for 20 girls? Yeah. So
John,
that's,
yeah, John,
yeah.
I really, I want to ask you a question. How are their parents' attitude? Who are these children born to, and how is the parents' mindset to allow these kids to do this? Talk about that, because a lot of parents are watching here.
Correct. So now I have, like when I do my preview, if I get around 20 people, of which only 3 or 4 or 5 people actually jump into this. And these are the parents that say, hey, I know marks, they need marks, but they need a lot more also, real life experiences also. So these are the parents that are there with me. They are the ones that understand me. All the other parents are like, hey, if he jumps into this, I know he will not study well. If he does not study well, he will lose out on his future and all of those things. Now they need studies, they need marks and everything, but there are a lot of children that get amazing marks and have zero idea of what exactly happens in life. Now here, that's not the case. No, they are actually going out and they're doing all of these things, and they are getting real life experiences, including rejections and failures and all of these things, and they're ready for life. So this program very clearly is not a passion finder program. It's not like saying you did this one, that's what your passion is. No, their passion is like they have a lot more years to figure out what they want to do with
It
their
will
life.
evolve. It will
But here,
evolve. Yeah.
yeah, they have this mentality of saying, I need to contribute and stand out and do all of these things while in whatever I do. Like there are children that do very small things. There is this one girl in Coimbatore. She's not my part of my program, but I look up to her so much because she got the 2020 Singapore Award last year. You know, Singapore Award is one coveted award that everybody looks out for. This girl got that by making newspaper dolls. Newspaper dolls, yeah, because you see, she said, and she also said, I'm going to make black color newspaper dolls. Yeah, because she said, people like, I am black, dark skinned, and people think I am not so beautiful, and I want to prove to people that black is beautiful. You see, now BBC went to her house and took a documentary of her. Now you see, so now what is happening here? She's like solving a real problem from whatever her interest is. This little girl, she's a very little girl. Next year she might think saying newspaper dolls are very boring. I want to do something else. She will do something else. It's not like that she found her career and all. She will, they will do something else and later on go, but it's the mindset that they get into
How
while
do
they
they
do all.
find the time? How do they find the time? Parents will be worried about the time factor, right? How do they find the time?
So you see, now all of these things that they do are the things that come from within. That means those things that they do even without their parents asking them to do. These are not like one huge project that they sit and spend their time on and all of those things. Now, so what does this do? When I'm studying so much and I'm stressed out, I will go and do what this project is. So you see, now when I do this project, I get so much energy. So I will go out and study more. That's the thought here. It's not them to wear them out. It's not to like, so you see what happens with the other programs is what they will go to karate class as one extra thing that they do along with their studies. They'll go to dance class as one extra thing. But what if I say, hey, you love dancing? No, now it's like if you feel like, oh my God, I studied too much. What should I do? Put the music on and dance. Now create something out of your dancing that you do in your leisure time. That's all I want you to do. It's not like an extra project that they take up and do.
Beautiful. So John, if people have to contact you, where should they connect with you?
Okay, so very simple answer could be go on Google and search for John Pradeep JL. You will be fine. You can find me. But otherwise, I am John Pradeep JL on all social media. Wherever you message me, I will immediately reply. And I'm pretty active on all social media also. So Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, like all the social media that are there out there.
Guys, he's a very, very popular guy, and I'm going to share all his details in the description box, and you can get in touch with him. Now, coming back to my favorite question, how this has impacted your personal life and marriage life and your professional life?
Okay, so now I should start with how exactly my profession started with my marriage, not even because you see exactly when I decided saying I'm going to work with children and theater, I actually got married. And that means like I actually had lied to my parents saying I'm working as an HR in a huge company in Chennai. And they thought, yeah, he's earning so well, why not get him married? And they got me married. And my wife was the only one that knew that I did not have an actual job. Our first day after marriage was this, where I took one of her chain, went to Muthoot FinCorp, kept the chain, took the money for our that day's food. That's how we started our marriage. Okay. So now, and for at least 3 months, I was jobless, but I was very, very sure on getting a job in a theater company, nowhere else. And luckily I got a job in the theater company in 3 months. And from there was my career. That is where my career developed. Okay, so now you see that she's really supportive with how I follow my passion. Because
how did you convince her? How did you convince her? What did you tell her, and how she accepted this, or what this idea?
That's a very amateur, cringy love story where I told her saying, hey, I'm going to be a theater artist. You will have to lie down along with me on the platform because I will not be able to earn any money. He said, okay. I'm like, who is this girl? Why is she doing this? Wow. Again, I always have this thing saying that was the only promise that she gave me, and she's keeping up to that promise. Because like all the theater artists that I saw were not people that were earning so much. They were just like on the road with beard and sling bags and all that. So now like things have changed a lot right now. But my vision then was that if I become a theater artist, I will not be able to earn money, was my vision. So, and she said, I will come along with you. And that was the only thing that kept us together.
Beautiful. I love her. Convey my love to her. Love her. And how this has impacted your personality as such, working with kids, working with theater. What is a change that has brought in your personality?
Okay. Would you believe if I tell you that I'm an introvert?
Okay. No.
Okay.
Theater
So
artist, introvert. Doesn't go well.
Correct. No, so now I basically is an introvert. I like, if you see me somewhere and if you think I will give the same energy that I'm speaking at right now, I will go like hi, and then I will move away because my hands will be shivering and I'll be like, who is this person? Why is she doing so much in a public place? All of those things will happen.
Even
because
now?
I'm an even now, yeah, even now I'm an introvert. Yeah. So now you see me confident and bubbly and happy and doing all of these here because I'm actually having the theater within me right now. So now this was one light bulb moment for me when I was talking to one of my mentors and I was telling him saying, see, I'm amazing on stage. I do amazing, great things on stage. But when I get down from stage, that's all, I switch off. I don't talk to anybody. Then that person asked me, why not think of the things that were like places where you need to talk as your performance? Now that is when I realized saying, correct, I mentally get ready to perform a performance. So now why not mentally get ready to meet people and talk? Why not mentally get ready to do this interview? Why not mentally get ready to do a workshop? Now, if you see me, all these performances that is happening here is that energy that I get out of being in the spotlight.
So one solution for all the introverts will be getting into theater.
getting into theater and like working on that mentality of being on theater, because there are a lot of amazing not just theater, in movies also, performers who are introverts. So for them, if you give them a spotlight and tell them saying this is your time, go perform, they will do amazing stuff. Now that spotlight is what missing in the world that is filled with a lot of extroverts. They'll be like talking, and I'll be like, I want to tell something, and nobody nobody will listen to you, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to tell anything, just sit and listen. Right? So now if they tell saying, John, this is your time, come on, do this, then I will do the best. And everybody values that also. When, if you notice in a group, when somebody is silent and you give them some time, they will give you, like, they will speak maybe 2 or 3 sentences. Those will be the most valuable sentences.
I think,
right? So now, because
I think, sorry to interrupt. I think this will be very useful for all the corporate guys, no, who came from a small place, small village, and small town, are not willing to gel with the corporate. I think it's a very useful art for corporate guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it is easy for me to get the results what I want to. And that is why I work with older people also now. I do a lot of corporate workshops. I work with a lot of trainers, coaches, and everybody, and get them to make your class more engaging. How you become a speaker, how you become have a brand for yourself, so people invite you to go and speak there. All of these things I teach them, because theater has helped, like, teach them through theater, because theater has helped me to come out of my shell and speak out there.
Beautiful. So guys, if you really are an introvert and if you want to set your brand, John will be the right person to bring your inner personality out and build your brand as well. So if you're working for a corporate, or if you are working on your business, if you want to build your brand, John is the best person to contact. Okay, my final question for you, John. How this has helped you as a parent? You have kids, right?
Yeah.
So what is a normal parent, and what is a theater, this kind of a parent? What will be the difference?
Right. People that come to my house, they look at my house and they say, hey, John, this is very, very different. I've never actually been in a house that, like, a house of a person who does full-time theater or is being a full-time parent and all that. My house is just chaos everywhere. Okay. And I like that. And I like it to be like that. Because you see, when this was one decision that I took when my daughter was born also. Like, I was there in the delivery place, like inside the theater, when the baby was born, and they gave the baby to me first. And I took the baby, and I thought, I'm going to live the rest of my life for this baby. And
normal delivery. It's a normal delivery.
Normal, yeah. Normal delivery. I took the baby, and I was thinking, this is what I'm here for, and all that. And I thought, okay. And then I researched a lot about babies and children and what they do and all that. And she was around 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, and all that. I started doing theatrical works with her. Like, whatever I learn, I just try it out on her and all that. And that is when one school reached out and asked. They were not a school. They were the what is they called, the play school, reached out and asked, can you do theater for 1-year-olds? Now, this owner of that school was a great visionary. Otherwise, she wouldn't have thought about that. So she invited and asked, can you do this? I said, my daughter is 10 months old right now. I'm going to try it on my daughter, and then I'm going to try it on your children also. I said, perfect, no problem at all. And that is how I became the only person who works at that particular age and that particular time. Like, all the other people work with 3 years and older at least. I was working with 1.5-year-old little babies, doing a lot of cute work with them. So that is how this parent, like, being a parent, helped me to become better at teaching theater to children.
So how is your child different? How is your child different?
My child, no. So that's okay. So again, it's not like saying my child should be the best or be the performer and all that. I concentrate very much in not tapping into what the child is capable of, or what the child is doing. So all of these things that I do with other children, no. Now, my child turned 8 only like 1 month back, but still she has not done any of those things. Now, I don't want to do those fake things where I put her into something and put her in the limelight and say, hey, she did amazing stuff, and none of that. So she's still there. So as much as this sounds like I'm putting people on spotlight and doing great things for them, no, if the child is not very comfortable doing that. So there are many other children who are not on newspapers, TVs, but still doing amazing job. Okay. Now that's where my child is. My child is a little, like, she's like very kind. she's not like flashy. So she's very kind, does a lot of help to people and all that. And she right now even refuses to pose for cameras when she's doing those things. So I'm like, yeah, then I don't want to put it out there. Let her do what she loves doing is something that I very much concentrate on. So it's not like saying, no, come on, you should do this. Everybody should know about this. No, put it on social media. No, none of that.
Beautiful, beautiful. John, what is your best practice for couples to allow each other to pursue their passion?
Okay, so the second part of me following my passion was my wife following her passion. So basically, we married because she was, should I say this? She was basically in the college. She's from a different college. She was the coordinator for culturals there. I was the trainer for culturals in my college. So that's how we got together. So and then she went off to work in a regular job. She actually worked in some 4 or 5 regular jobs. And then, but I kept telling her, saying, hey, you have something, you have to do something on your own and all that. Now this lockdown started, and she right now is figuring out how to do, what to do, things like that. And very recently, very recently, some 1.5 years back, she started this dress designing company. And she's designing for a lot of TV artists and everything, in like very like quick growth within this specific period. Now, with respect to passion, as a person who believes in passion, I tried my best to tell her, saying, hey, you have to do something with your passion, but it was not happening at all. And she was like, I don't know what I'm good at, what will I be doing, and all that. Now, then I left it, and then I kept doing what I love doing. Now, especially when I stopped going to office and started working from my house itself, she sees me and she's there with me and all that. She's like, how do I do this passion thing? And then she also started on her own. And now both of us are passionpreneurs. So that way, like running, like taking a passion and running, there are times that are difficult, there are times that we need, like with no money, all of those things. Now we are homeschooling our children also, both of them. All of these things are working together, and we both, like, one underlining thing is we both understand what we are going through. I don't know if we both will understand when she is going to an office and working, and me working sitting at home and following my passion. I don't know if that match will happen, but right now, that one thing that I think is holding our marriage together and all of this happening is both of us understand what we are going through. That's how this has helped us.
But for people like your in-laws and your parents, it will be like, wow, these guys are taking so much of risk and it's so scary. Would they think like that? Do they think
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know what they're thinking as such. This it's worked amazingly well for us. There are times when they'll come and ask, saying, when are you getting your regular salary kinds? I'll be like, no, I'm getting regular salary. Don't worry. Like, no, regular, like minimum commitment. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer. But both of us say the same answers. That's our great positiveness. And if at all she says, I don't know what he's doing, that's all. The whole everything will fall down there. So she also says the same answer. I also say the same answer. I think it's good for us. That's all.
Okay, if I give you last 60 seconds to say something to my audience about parenting, about children, about being a mutually supportive husband and wife, because this channel is called Becoming Soulful. So how can you connect my title and your thought process and say something to my audience?
Okay, so for you to be soulful, I think you should know how the machine works. Okay, I'll give you a quick example of what exactly this is. I started riding bike when I was 27 years old. I fell in love with how I was riding, and then I bought an Avenger. I started going on long journeys. So when I was going on a long journey on the Bangalore highway from Chennai, after I crossed Vellore, I found that there was petrol oozing from one of those tubes there. I didn't even know what that was, because I'm new to bike riding itself. I got so scared, put my bike there. I thought my bike is going to burn. I went to a mechanic, brought him, and he took the carburetor plug. He blew into that. He put it back and said, sir, it will work. Now I was like, what? This was so small that, like, this was the problem in my bike. And he said, yeah, that's the problem. Very simple. There was dust inside it. I blew into it. It will work. Now I thought, saying, okay, so now many at times as parents, as people, individuals, as spouses, we get irritated about others, or we feel guilty saying, have I been a bad parent, or have I been a bad spouse, or like, why is my marriage happening, like why are my parents behaving like this? Because you don't know how the machine is working. Now, all you have to do is to find out how the machine is working, what is happening inside a toddler's brain, what is happening inside a teenager's brain. Now, if you know that teenagers' logical part of the brain is not developed, and when they throw that plate, just because there is no salt in it, you won't think saying, oh my God, I am a bad parent. You will think saying his logical brain is not developed, I have to go and support him. Oh, that's one thing that I keep telling. When I know saying my wife is an extrovert and she takes fast decisions, and that decisions might not be the right decisions, then if I know that technology or the mechanism behind the machine that is inside her head, then I will tell her saying, okay, let's take the same decision after 2 days. Now, otherwise, what will happen? You're always like this. You always take the wrong decisions, and why all of those things will happen. So my ultimate advice to everybody is know the machine. Either it be an assessment, a personality assessment, something. Go take that assessment and find out how you work, your brain works. Find out how your loved ones and their brains work, and that is going to take your relationship, your profession, and everything far, far, far.
True, and that calls for a lot of patience and calls for an effort to first understand my own machine, understand other person's machine as well. Thank you so much for this time you gave, and I'm so excited to put all your information in the description box, John. And I'm really honored, having you here. You quickly accepted my invite, and thank you so much, John, for being here.
Thanks, Vimala. Thanks to all the viewers also. I hope this was very useful for all of you. We are going to put all the descriptions, all the links of my media in the description. You can always follow me. Thank you so much, Vimala. Thanks.
Thank you. So guys, you will be shocked to know who is John if you browse about him. I'm going to share the links and you see who he is and how much work he is doing. And he is the India's #1, and he is the only one theater life coach. So if you have children, and if you are an adult as well who are an introvert, or if you simply want to understand what is theater and how it's going to help your personality to open up, please immediately contact John. I'm going to share all the links over here. He's one of the best resource for you to bring a lot of changes in your real life. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Vimala Rane signing off from Becoming Soulful. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll come back again with another interesting friend of mine who will share his best practices or her best practices to become soulful in your life. Thank you. Bye-bye.